I first ran into this level in 2017, when Localizer became one of the first 60 Hz victors. Fast forward to the beginning of this year, and I quite easily beat retention. Believing that I was capable of doing anything, this was when I gave Black Blizzard my first attempt. And as you might expect, I got my ass kicked, so I decided to come back later. 6 months later, I beat Abazar Phantasm. After taking a short break in the form of Essentia, I gave Black Blizzard another shot. It still felt really hard to me. However, instead of dropping it right then and there, like I had last time, I made the decision to see the level through all the way to the end. Here's how that went. So, what exactly did I just get myself into? So the plan was to beat Black Blizzard. Black Blizzard, if you didn't already know, has an awful first half, which has a few extremely precise timings, which is followed by a fast-paced but much more forgiving second half. What does this mean? Well, it wasn't looking too grim at first. After all, on the LRR list, Black Blizzard is 19th, while Abazar Phantasm is 36th, so they aren't that far apart, really. As long as I had some sort of preparation in the timing department... Wait, what do you mean I had no preparation in the timing department? All of a sudden, it's looking really bad. Abazar Phantasm and Essentia both have exactly one precise timing each, which meant that neither were adequate in preparing me for what I was about to face with Black Blizzard. But there's still hope. Black MG jumped from Rearmed or something, and Luigi jumped from Deception Dive, so they could pull those jumps off. I should be able to pull this as long as I approach the level correctly. Wait, what do you mean I didn't approach the level correctly? Okay, let's back up a bit. First, let me define what the correct way to approach this level would be. Let's say you're starting out, and you want to beat Black Blizzard, like I did. So the correct thing to do would be to recognize that this level has a very difficult first half, so you'd have to funnel all your energy into learning the first half mainly. Seems reasonable, right? But I'm not a reasonable person, right? So what did I do instead? Well, instead of playing the level from the beginning and learning the first half like I should have, I had the absolute genius idea of focusing all of my energy into the second half, which doesn't really make much sense, but hear me out. The reason why I did this was because I didn't want to make the mistake of playing from zero too much too early, like I did with Abazar Phantasm. Although, looking back, that logic doesn't really hold up here because Abazar Phantasm has a really hard second half, while Black Blizzard has a really hard first half, so they are completely different. Still, considering I had gotten the level in 4 runs fairly quickly, you would think that I would have the level done sooner or later, right? I mean, I thought so as well. But then I was greeted by an old familiar nemesis. School. School was, shall I say, different this year for reasons that may or may not be allowed to be said on YouTube, but that still didn't stop it from eating up my time in the same way that Matt Stoney eats food. I mean, look at this shit. It's like, oh my god. Anyway, yeah, school. It sucks. Point is, school meant that I had less time to play, which meant that I would progress slower on Black Blizzard. But I wouldn't accept that. So to make up for it, every single minute of free time that I had, I would all automatically dedicate to Black Blizzard. Obviously, playing this much isn't healthy. I was letting a $4 indie game on Steam take over my life. When games are coming before real life, it generally means either A, you're addicted, or B, you have an obsession with that game. And for me, it was a mix of both, certainly, but mostly the latter, because I was way too obsessed with beating Black Blizzard, where I would sacrifice anything and everything to make progress. Now, more importantly, did it even work? Well, at first it did, or so I thought. In around mid-September, which was about a month after I began playing the level, I achieved 42-100. This led me to believe that I was closing in on a completion, and that playing a lot was accelerating my progress. It took me another 2 weeks or so to do 25-100. Now, I really thought I was close. A couple of days later, I even got 51 from 0, which only ingrained this thought into my mind. But there was a catch. Remember how I didn't play from the beginning that much when I started this level? Well, that finally caught up with me. Because after achieving 51% on October 16th, I wouldn't pass the first half of the level again for an entire month. There's a couple of things worth mentioning here. First, clearly, the fact that I had gotten to 51 in the first place was literally just luck. My previous best from 0 when I reached 51 was actually only 32, so effectively I fluked almost a fifth of the level. Also, during that month, I lost a lot of motivation for Black Blizzard, as you probably guessed, and obviously, because of this, I gradually lost my sanity over grinding the same cube section over and over, day after day, constantly dying to the same fucking 2% blue orb. That entire month of no progress was just pure suffering. And then finally, after stubbornly refusing to believe it for 3 months at this point, I finally accepted the fact that this level would take a lot longer than I had initially anticipated. I stopped treating this level as a race between me and time and started to take it less seriously. I might have even given up, but ironically, when I took it less seriously, I started progressing again. And for the first time in a month, the month of hell suddenly ended, and I finally passed the drop again, achieving 60%.
Oh my god! Oh my god.
And while this is also a fluke, because I fluked the straight flies at 54, from this point on, I would progress pretty consistently. Thankfully, there wouldn't be any more hiccups along the final stretch. 1 week later, I achieved 61%.
You bastard, what? I'm actually goated, holy shit.
And then, not long after, 69%.
Oh my god. 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 Oh my god.
Going into December, I got 74%.
Yes.
And out of nowhere, on December 14th, I fluked it from 74 and beat it.
my god! Oh my god.
Yes, after 70,489 attempts, yeah, you heard that correctly, 41 drop deaths, and 4 months of struggling, a level that I could not even dream of touching 3 years ago, was finally over. And as always, thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.